Manuel Brock-Benz, VWR Corp went public last October at $21 a share. Before that, you were owned by a private equity company. Now the stock trades around 28. So I guess this whole IPO experiment for a lab equipment seller like yourself has been fairly successful.
Yeah, very much so. And we are basically confirming the thesis of the IPO, where we said, we are the independent solutions provider to the life science and industrial space, and that we are a fast-growing company, outgrowing the market with 3 to 4% organic growth. We could confirm that over the last quarters, and I guess that's why we've seen the progress that we've seen.
And you've been around for a long time, and you've traditionally rolled up a lot of small players in this highly fractured lab equipment market. Can you talk about what you're buying now, and you're being forced to bid up on the prices because of the improving economy?
First of all, a little bit on the history. We are around for more than 160 years on the US side, and VWR was a publicly traded company at some point, was then taken private by Merck KGaA in Germany and combined with their laboratory distribution business in Europe. And then back in 2004, we were actually sold off to CD&R, Clayton, W. and Rice, and then flipped further in 2007 to our current owners, Madison, Dearborn and Partners. The type of acquisitions we do are what we call tuck-in acquisitions and smaller players, on the manufacturing side. We pay very reasonable multiples there because, those are mainly family-owned companies that have a generational, change where the kids don't want to continue to run the business. And so those are very private deals, individually negotiated, and you don't pay the prices that you would see otherwise. And
you're in a few different verticals. You're in education, you're in industrial, you're in pharma. Which is doing the best for you right now?
Right now, it's actually pharma. I'm a strong believer that pharma research is back. They absolutely have to get innovation. Otherwise, they will have a hard time, getting reimbursed, for example, or being successful as companies. So we see a nice ramp up of research activities in the pharma accounts.
And despite it being a very fractured market here in the U.S., you have a pretty big percentage of the market share along with Fisher. In Europe, however, you're the #1 player. Yeah. And a lot of people during earnings season were saying, well, that strong dollar really hurt us. Can you tell me what's going on with regard to your top line and the strong dollar?
First of all, we're the distant #1 player in Europe, which actually fuels a lot of the growth because, we're present in every single country, have the best infrastructure and also service levels to customers. The dollar as such hasn't affected us as much because, most of the customers obviously buy in the local currencies and there's only a fraction of the product that we need to import from the US. So there has been only some optics in our earnings, obviously, if you translate the results from Europe back to the US dollar, but it doesn't really affect our business too much.
What about your debt load from your private equity days? Talk about the overhang because you did a lot of refinancing in the first quarter.
It's a very positive direction, i.e. going down. We have been levered up to 9.3 times back in 2007 when we were acquired by Madison, Dearborn and Partners, and we are now at 4.4 times. If we continue on our growth trajectory, we believe to be in the threes, very soon. And this is a business that that generates a lot of cash flow. We have limited capex as an asset-light company. We spend roughly $75 million per year on acquisitions, and the residual will always be used to pay down debt.
And Madison still owns about 75 or 76% of you guys, right? So they're not running away anytime soon.
No, they're not running away. They're really good owners, and we did a lot of investments. For example, in our North American infrastructure, we invested over the last year $70 million, all enhancing our capabilities there, and they have supported all of that throughout their ownership and will continue to be a good owner.
All right, thanks a lot, Manuel.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thank you for watching The Street.